So I'm Tina No, and last name is Ngo, and it's Vietnamese background. It's typically pronounced Ngo, but I go by No. And born and raised here in Dallas, actually. I'm a tape artist, and so a lot of my art mediums is used very, very thin black lines of tape that kind of back in my high school days, I used to kind of roll a little bit in the street races. And I have a huge fascination with streetcars, to the point where it's actually pinstriping tape from what they use on custom cars. So my art background started probably about 4 years ago. I was kind of self-taught, and I didn't go to school or have a degree in art or any type of creative path. So to be honest, I appreciate art and just understanding meeting other artists, along with understanding the process. I actually started off going to a lot of those paint and twist type of classes. Alcohol drinking with painting was interesting concept. And then I thought I was pretty okay with it. I started taking a lot more classes, and all different mediums, from drawings to sculptures to pottery to lithographs and printing and string art. And I actually fell in love with string art. Before I became a tape artist, I started off actually doing string art. And so a lot of the geometric lines, I fell in love with just the structure and the balance that it gives to a lot of some of the abstract process behind it. But it didn't really fall into tape until maybe about 2.5, right before COVID, actually. 2.5, a little bit about 3 years ago. What the tape represents is a little bit about creating our own path to, even in the creative industry, or whether you want to pursue something that you've been in dire need of and have a passion to, that you don't necessarily have to follow other people's expectations and create your own lines. Tape in itself is very flat, and so for me, I actually liked dimension and different perspectives. So a lot of the art that I create is different perspective of buildings, signs, people, the environment. And so the thought around behind the art is actually a very, very thick paint process. And so it's actually more abstract before the tape comes on. And so for me, it kind of balances the abstract of chaos of painting to the need for structure and balance, is where the tape comes on top of that. Since my parents came from the Vietnam War, hopped on a plane back in '75 or so, they came over here and had literally nothing. And so they've worked multiple jobs, blue collar, very hands-on, very dirty type of jobs. Dirty in a sense of just like getting your hands nitty gritty. They're both in the creative world as well. And so my mom was an art framer, and then my dad was an antiquer. And so they were around art, both of them, their whole lives, but more on creating and restoring art for other people. And so I grew up around that. I grew up doing what I was supposed to do because I felt like I needed to prove myself to have a better life than my parents. And but yet at the same time, even if I felt like I did it, I felt very lost. And so now I'm in a space where I'm still seeking approval from my parents sometimes, because I'm not supposed to be an artist, and that's not the route that you're supposed to go down towards. And one day I hope to inspire others that it's okay to kind of carve your own path and not necessarily check the mark of other people's expectations. I had no idea how the art world works. And so Meaning that, okay, what are these shows, and how do you, the operational side of art along with the business side of art and all the social media and technology that you need. And so all the back-end logistics to art was a whole new world. And so I met some amazing new artist friends, and I've met some awesome production company I work with for FG3 that helps me really understand, like, okay, what is the operational business side of art? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of alone time where you kind of get lost in loneliness, but it's all of a sudden you go to these shows and then you're just extremely surrounded by just people asking questions and wanting to get to know you and the art. And so for an introvert kind of like me, I was okay being alone for a little bit, just digging into the art. But yet once you step out, it's like, you know, trying to build up the energy to, I have to talk to myself, not to myself, I had to talk about myself to other people. And what does that even, like, what do I say? But you know what, in the end, it's a lot of fun if it's just what you make of it. For me, I'm hoping to inspire the next, at least corporate technologist that wants to pursue a creative route, or, you know, the future Asian or Vietnamese artists as well. So representation is key to trying to, you know, hopefully see that people can take this path. Yes, I'm Tina No Designs on Instagram and Tina No Designs in Geo at .com. And you can reach out to me. I'd love to chat with you as well too. And then maybe we can create our own lines, so.